Hello, my name is ZacKegley, and I will be sharing with you a manuscript on presenting manuscripts, ironically. When I became a speechwriter for a telecommunications company, I studied previous speeches and I scrutinized videotapes of the CEO's presentations. His speeches sounded as though someone else wrote them, and they did. He delivered the lines as though he wasn't interested in what he was talking about. He drew attention to the manuscript as each page turned, sometimes even stopping in the middle of a sentence as he turned the page. Some presentation consultants would say that this CEO breaks an age-old speaking rule by reading a speech that's been written in its entirety. But I believe it's perfectly acceptable to read a speech if you make your audience believe that you wrote it, and if you're passionate enough about it, and if you read without drawing attention to the pages, you're shuffling your reading material around, if you're flipping them over. So let me go through some pointers for delivering manuscript speech. First, you have to sound like yourself. Whether you rely on a speechwriter or write your own copy, the speech must sound like your own words. Think about how you speak in conversation. Ask yourself, how long are your sentences? What words you prefer? What words you avoid? After you've written your ideas and drafted a copy, rewrite the speech so it sounds like something you would say with someone in a one-on-one conversation. In writing for myself, I personally like to read my speech out loud with a tape recorder on. I play it back, listen to how I sound, um, make notes on things I need to improve on, and this helps me judge by ear whether what I've written really sounds like the way I talk. When I worked with the CEO, I taped our conversations and discovered key phrases that he liked to use. I placed those speech patterns into the speech copy, which made him sound authentic when he delivered his speech. Um, Another pointer or rule to delivering these is you have to tap into the power of believing. If you believe in what you're saying, let your audience know. You convey passion to the listeners through your voice and body language. By selecting the right words and putting them in sentences that convey belief, you can work passion into a speech manuscript, any of them. Um, it can be anything as long as you sincerely believe in what you're saying. You should keep your sentences short and personalize your ideas. Consider the difference in expressing something as mundane as a as a statistic in a report. Instead of saying, and quote, a recent study reported, you might say, I read a study the other day and learned that, blah, 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 blah. Personalizing your content shows the audience that you really care about the subject. To emphasize the CEO's passion for a subject, I added a few of his own I believe and I know statements, which I'd captured on tape during our discussions. And these were his personal beliefs, and the audience not only heard but felt them. Um, you should always make the manuscript invisible, and by that I mean, little steps you take in speech preparation at the podium will help you minimize the appearance of reading from a printed text. You should print your speech in the largest type necessary. Uh, like the font should be large, but not all capital letters. That'll make everything ruin the flow. You'll lose yourself, your position. Um, it'll complicate the delivery of the speech overall. Use a serif typeface such as Times New Roman. Like I said, never use all capitals. That's asking for trouble. End each page with a complete sentence. Even if you leave a third of a page blank, you won't be caught in the middle of a sentence when you move to the next page or be stranded if your pages get out of order. Use a transparent color marker and highlight the phrases that you want to emphasize. You should, at all times, have 2 pages in front of you. Start with 1 page to the left of the file, and as you finish one, just discreetly slide it over to the left as you speak. Let me emphasize the as you speak part, so that, people don't pay attention to you shuffling papers around, it's unnatural. Um, Always slide the pages over instead of turning. You should slide a finger down the text beneath the line that you're on as you're speaking. That way when you lift your head to speak to the audience, you can immediately return to the same place that you left off. Place a small post-it note at the place in your text where you plan to ad-lib a few remarks. This is always a good idea. This frees your hand, it brings you back to the script when you're ready. Always memorize your opening and closing. That's very, very important. That's basically a key. If anything is important, this, I'd say this is probably the most important part of what I have to say here. You have to deliver both the opening and closing with energy and conviction. Some of these techniques may seem to be common sense, but they have quite an impact before an audience. Consider the transformation of the telecommunications CEO. Within several months, he delivered an important company address. Afterward, audience members talked about his great speech and the confidence that he inspired. Although I'd love to claim credit for the turnaround that the CEO made, the speaker really deserves accolades. As the presenter, he took the necessary steps to convince his audience that he wrote the speech. He delivered it with passion because he believed in what he was saying. He employed these techniques to de-emphasize his use of a prepared manuscript. Briefly, that's those are the basic points I'd like to make when delivering a manuscript. Um, just maybe jot those down somewhere and remember them next time you may need to deliver one in front of a large audience. They're all very, very important and will help you out. Um, in your future career, help you get a position you want. Just impress your audience. Thank you for listening.